Which one?
All right. Ballmer is late, 6:31.
What's the score, Ted?
6-9. Not us. Yeah, that is
Item number 5, approval of consent agenda. Does anyone have any item they would like pulled out? Or any questions or concerns? Property casualty liability insurance policy renewals in there before us too, as well as the workers' compensation insurance policy renewal. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Munson made the motion, Yates second. Roll call, please.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Crick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Balmer,
Yes.
Lower.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 7-0. Item 6, committee reports. Finance committee. Finance committee report was in your packet. Did anyone have any questions about the finance committee minutes?
I think the only two recommendations were to approve the minutes and approve the finances.
So, there's really no action items on the finance committee. The building and grounds was also. Moving on to 6.2. Anyone have anything to add about the grounds?
I think the recommendations there were just to move forward with summer plans as presented. Approve the minutes from the previous committee meeting.
No other discussion on building and grounds, and on to 7.1, FOIA requests. We had a few.
Nothing really major to note. Did I think of Leanne, you?
Well, it was basically they wanted the milk and dairy bids, correct?
We're having trouble hearing, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. We'll speak up a little bit. The FOIA request was just for documentation on the milk, dairy, and fuel and oil bids. We got a request sent in to us, and we fulfilled the FOIA request. Is that what it is?
I think that unified.
I don't know that it's manual, is it, Tim?
Hey, they'll find the screwdriver out there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Just trying to catch up. It's probably running both at the same time.
All right, 7.2 academic improvement planning update.
Okay, well, we start with the district goals. The first bucket, student academic growth and achievement, continue to strengthen K-8 ELA/literacy math curricular instructional approach, continue to modernize our curricular approach. Programs and services, continue to strengthen social emotional student supports and increase targeted pathway-based course opportunities. In district and community relations, strengthen community involvement in schools, continue to solidify and expand positive branding. Under facilities and accessibility, develop and implement long-term capital improvement plan solidify security, safety, and district crisis plan, and our financial goals, develop and implement long-term budget and levy projections and plans, and increase operational efficiencies, keeping student needs first. Under academic improvement planning, 5 quick bullets. End of year assessments are complete, IR star math testing, as well as AP and ACT, and probably a handful of others. DESA, I think we do it this spring too. We are assembling and organizing a team to conduct a full K through 12 math curriculum review for fall 2026 district-wide adoption. That will start with an introductory meeting on Wednesday. Good morning, Wednesday. In the fall, we will utilize an updated version of the Amplify curriculum. In the fall, we will expand our utilization of the Renaissance Learning Platform. And in the fall, we will launch an IT pathway for students with help from a $31,000 Lucid Link grant. That is academic improvement planning.
That takes us through 7.4 to 7.5, public school carbon-free assessment report.
I'll back up just a little bit. I got 2 more quick ones. Sorry.
Okay, sure.
Capital improvement plan update, summer project plans just continue as we've noted the last couple of months. At the ELC, HVAC and domestic water downsizing. At Apollo, focusing on security, some kitchen upgrades, small scale concrete. That's to be determined if funds allow. Exterior lighting and landscaping. New Boston, building demo, pre-K classrooms, parking lot, and playground, as well as there's a little bit of work that will take place in the kindergarten classrooms. At the junior high, security, small scale concrete, if we can do so. Exterior lighting, landscaping, parking lot ceiling. I need to take that one off because we're going to do that every other year. I think is kind of the plan now. And then potential HVAC controls, and I would include the term balancing, concept. At the high school, vocational HVAC is the emphasis. And we're going to take a look at restrooms and hot water and try and do some work to make sure that we have functional, fully functional faucets, toilets, and everything ready for the fall. District design team update. Just a review of the purpose and the goals that the team has constructed. The purpose of the design team is to design modern and enduring spaces within buildings and throughout the district that fosters unity, district pride, cohesion, and a seamless experience that transcends separate entities, creating an environment where every student, teacher, and community member belongs and thrives. Our 17 goals. Number 1, strategic allocation of resources. Number 2, a single point of design oversight. Number 3, establish and maintain long-lasting vision. Number 4, implement classic and clean design for permanent fixtures. Number 5, accessorize modernly. Number 6, create spaces that make us all proud. And number 7, develop and deploy common design elements in regards to branding. Now I make it to the public school
Sorry.
carbon-free assessment.
I got excited.
I'll bet. So something to note, I wanted to take a little time to go through this. So this is something Ameren, Illinois offers to all public schools in their territory. ComEd offers to all public schools in their territory. And they'll do a comprehensive review of all of your systems, including building envelope, controls, a variety of buckets that they go through that I'll walk you through at a fairly rapid pace to kind of give an overview. But I started with how much we spend on energy. These are the FY24 totals. You can see how much we spend on bus fuel, electricity, natural gas, with about 60% of the expenditures in the bucket of electricity. The goal is to try and get to an annual savings target that halves that number. And the main target is electricity. Obviously, it's our biggest bucket, and it's where we have the opportunity for the most gains. If you look at FY25 so far, you can see bus fuel's down. Electricity is pretty much on the same pace right now. We did have some new contracts that kicked in. I think it was in February when our per kilowatt hour rate dropped a little bit. And natural gas is up. I don't know if that's up because usage was up or because the price of natural gas was up this year compared to last. But overall, you can see our targets and where we are so far this year. Something to note with electricity. Things are getting ready to go through the roof as far as capacity charges are concerned. We don't know how much more expensive it's going to get at a price per kilowatt hour. Those are like on your supply side. But on your delivery side, everybody has to pay to have a certain kind of allotment, like room for their max demand. And there's a formula that Ameren uses to figure out what your capacity charges are. What everyone is preparing for is the capacity charges to go through the roof. You can kind of see, without getting too deep into it, you can see in the MISO auction, which is where we're in this MISO territory, regional transmission and RTO. In 2023-24, the average annual megawatt per day for capacity was 9.25. This last year, 1996, and then for the coming year, $215.30. So what we're trying to do is position ourselves so that we don't get damaged by that increase. We're trying to do it through a variety of ways. One is just be more efficient, so we use less electricity. Two is trying to find ways to produce it ourselves, which is where the opportunities for solar generation come in. I won't have a lot of details on that in this assessment, but you'll see it as a bucket that they did review for us. So these are the buckets for the combined to make the public school carbon-free assessment. So they analyze, they use a lot of different subcontractors to analyze our operation. Their first task is to look for energy efficiency savings opportunities. Good example, Doug and I have been working with a company that sells the LED bulbs and will file for all the Ameren rebates for us. We've got new lighting going in out in both shops of the HVAC facility of the high school. We've already installed low wattage LEDs in the wrestling room, and then there will be new lights, high efficiency lights going in the commons out here. So that's just a simple example of finding energy savings opportunities. And I'll get into a little bit more detail as we go. The second bucket is they have a firm that comes out and they inspect your insulation in your building envelope. And they'll use sensors to see where you're losing heat or where your gaps are. The third bucket is taking a look at your solar energy potential, targeting some areas where you could put in solar panels for production. And then looking at infrastructure required to support the electrification, because if you're producing energy on site, it's to your benefit whenever you replace components to try and electrify as much as you can. Because if you're producing your own energy on site, that's obviously the most economic way to go when you look at different appliance upgrades. The fifth bucket, looking at infrastructure required to support electrification of transportation. And then their sixth bucket, they look at this well certification, which is kind of an icing on the cake type of a deal. They looked at every one of our buildings, every building that has a meter. They studied those locations to check for opportunities for efficiencies. And here's just a real high level view of kind of their findings. So here are things that they recommend. Develop a multi-year energy efficiency implementation plan, leverage their energy efficiency programs, incentives, which we are, utilize their energy efficiency energy analyzer tool, which is online, and then examine your building automation systems, which is a targeted thing for us to look at the controls on our various components at every campus. They inspected the mechanical installation and building envelope and outlined some opportunities where we could just, make some quick fixes to result in some savings. So replacing some door seals, some weather stripping, putting some caulking and sealant around different locations. And then they did a holistic review of our campus and proposed some solar locations. And they did a review of our infrastructure to take a look at how much it would cost, what our capacity is at each campus to be able to electrify the different components within. And then that just ends with a reminder of, we spend right now, at least FY '24, it was $431,000 in, for energy. And, we're gonna try and do everything we can to cut that cost, so we keep money in classrooms.
Do you know if they're allowing from net metering for, schools?
Yep.
They are.
Yep.
Allowing
They
for
cut
what?
net metering, they cut the net metering program for residential homes. But what that means is when you're generating, because our main generation time is gonna be in the summer when nobody's in school actually using energy. So if you don't have net metering, they're just taking all your energy and keeping it for themselves.
Right.
But with net metering, then in the winter, we get to use
It offsets.
the energy that we put into the
Get like
system.
a credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's 16 months, I think is, like, you have an opportunity to use anything you generate.
It was 12 months residentially, I don't know about it.
I think it's 16. But yeah, and they used to only allow you to build to 80% of your last, 12 months usage, and now you can build beyond. Which,
105 or 110%.
yeah. Okay. That was that.
7.5, all right. 7.6 FY '25 budget update.
All right, we walked through this in the finance committee meeting. So just looking at our operating funds, look at projected expenditures, our budgeted expenditures, and then that 110% budget threshold where we would look to amend the budget. In our operating funds in particular, you can see O&M and transportation both project to be under budget as far as expenditures are concerned. Ed is projected to be below the 110% threshold, but 5% above what we had budgeted. I've got a few line items kind of picked out to kind of show. One is just in the substitute lines across our various schools, and this is just parapros and teachers here. So we budgeted about $260,000, and current expenditures are about $308,000. So we're about $50,000 over budget when, with subs and for teachers and parapros at all of our buildings. And then we've got other notable overages. Something to note on this is some of these items are reimbursable items. So we might be over budget, but I'll use pre-K as an example. We got a little bit of a budget bump, as far as the revenue coming in to support the program. Similar with Title I, and some similarity with ESSER 3, so long as those funds eventually come through, or it's still to be determined. We filed an expense report on that today. Look at some supply lines are a little bit over. You look at, special ed cross categoricals is a little bit over, CTE is a little bit over, special ed programs, private tuition is a little bit over, and those are just things that we've got to spend that money. We don't have any choice. We try and budget to the best of our ability 12 months in advance. When you look at computer-assisted instruction, that's really the tech department. We're a little bit over, but we've got 2 years worth of, we had an early Chromebook order in July, it's on this year's budget, but a late Chromebook order as well as some servers and stuff that we're getting reimbursed with E-rate Cat 2 money, at least to 70%. So both of those items have put us over budget in the expenditures with regards to the smoke clears. We're still within the 110% threshold, so no budget.
All right. Any questions on the budget? 7.7 FY '26 registration prices and fees.
Okay, a screenshot, it's kind of small if you're trying to look from your seat, but I propose we lessen the financial burden of registration on our middle-income families with slight decreases per student. So if you look at elementary, last year the per student registration fee was $55 per kid. I recommend 50. As far as junior high, it was 57. Recommend 50 there as well. And at high school, it was 90. Recommend 75 there. Now, a very conservative, mean like worst case scenario. If you look underneath those labels, under elementary, I've got 500, junior high 300, high school 400. Those are round numbers that I took times those registration fees to come up with an estimation of about a $10,000 revenue loss due to those fees being reduced. Within these lines, I also recommend a slight increase in adult breakfast and lunch at all schools, and then a slight increase in PE uniforms, shorts, shirts, sweatpants at both the junior high and the high school due to increased costs. And this is something we'll bring back in
We'll
June.
vote on it next
Yeah.
month. Okay.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions? 7.8 student handbook updates.
Okay, each admin report has hyperlinks to their handbook drafts, and some of the schools have like a summary on what their proposed changes are. So between this read and formal approval in June, administrative team will continue working to find ways for cohesion between handbooks. As you guys study between now and the June board meeting, in particular for over the next couple weeks, if you see any language that you would like reviewed or adjusted, just let us know. And we'll take that into consideration as well. Then we'll plan for formal board approval in June. As we say that, are there any highlights that principals want to share with their respective handbooks? Okay.
And the handbooks are in the update. I didn't know where they were at. Well, yeah, you printed. But they're in the admin. They're in the admin portion. I couldn't find them, so.
I think for the most part, everybody has it at or near the very top of
Right.
their May admin report.
If you pay attention to the bright blue lettering that I just totally overlooked. All right, 7.9 FY '26 Board of Education goal setting.
Okay, here's what I plan to do within the next week or so, release a Google form district-wide, collect feedback from a variety of stakeholders, students, staff, community members, and the couple of items we're trying to get feedback on is kind of a ranking of the goals that we had this year in order of importance to whoever is submitting the form, and then an opportunity to share goal-setting ideas that they might have for board's consideration. And then come June, we'll go through those results, the goals that we've set for this year, and knock on wood, leave the June board meeting with a kind of revitalized set of board goals. Not that I know of. Were they supposed to be?
I don't know. I saw we have some FFA members in the, were you guys,
Well, Mr. Hart thought, but we can go when she does the high school report. if you want
okay,
to.
I was
Well,
like,
we're
I kinda was looking through, I'm like.
Yeah,
Cause
I
usually
thought
get-
we were and then I didn't, so I'm sorry I didn't put this
No,
on
no,
public
it's,
comment.
we will take students to come and, show us.
We'll do it during the high school.
That'd be great.
There's a song and a dance, that's what I've heard.
Are you guys doing a?
You're on.
I'm on? Great.
FY '26 milk bid.
Yeah, you can see, you know, on the slider in your packet, how the milk bid came out. Spray Farms is the only bid, it's about the same price as last year. No bread bids fielded, by the way.
So what we do for bread is we purchase through Kohl's, and it's, frozen, right?
I think so.
It's frozen bread. So, but they did that this year, didn't they? Yeah, so it's no real
Lincoln
change.
gets up early and bakes bread for us every morning. It's rising right now. Thanks, Leah.
All right, well then I would entertain a motion to approve the Prairie Farms bid, at 37 to 40 cents per carton.
It says 37 to 40 because strawberry is a little bit more
More than-
expensive than
Plain
one,
white.
yeah, than plain white milk, yeah.
I move to approve the milk bid.
Munson, motions.
I think the kids are all gonna
Palmer
start
approved.
drinking strawberry milk now. Son of a gun.
Palmer
Cat's out of the
seconds.
bag.
Roll call, please.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smock.
Yes.
Frick.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Ballmer.
Yes.
Lower.
Yes.
Munson.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 7-0. And then 8.2 is the fuel bid from,
We fielded one from Halcom, one from Blick and Blick. Overall, the Halcom prices were lower, especially in the winter blends, and Def moved significantly lower. So the recommendation is to, I think it's stay with Halcom oil, right?
yeah, we were
Agreed.
Yeah. Appreciate the, you know, Blick and Blick participating in the process.
I would entertain a motion to approve the Halcom fuel bid as presented.
I move to approve the fuel bid.
Second. Munson, Palmer,
Just wait for it.
roll call, please.
Smock.
Yes.
Frick.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Ballmer.
Yes.
Lower.
Yes.
Munson.
Yep.
Nelson.
Yes.
That's a lot.
All right, motion carries 7-0. And we're on to admin reports. We'll start with the high school.
I'm not prepared, I'm
Come on, Mr. Lynn.
Well, I want to hear what the students,
Okay, well then I will turn it on over. This is Lindstrom and Elsie and who else we got down there?
Alright, I'm gonna let the girls introduce themselves first, and then I'll take over.
Hello, my name is Elsie Cook, and I am the Mercer County High School FFA president. And I'm so proud to be sitting up here in front of all of you, especially in a blue corduroy jacket. I'm so pleased to see so many of my former administrators here, teachers that I know and I love and I've been in class with. And I don't think they coined me as the agriculture type. I'm more of a leggings and maybe a Caitlin Clark jersey every now and then. But that's what's so great about Mercer County FFA. And that's what draws people to Mercer County High School FFA, is our ability to bring in people from all walks of life and expose them to what agriculture has to offer. Without FFA, I want to be the strong, confident young woman I'm growing into be. And I'm so excited for that. And here is another strong, confident young woman, Addison Munson.
Live up to it.
I'm Chapter Vice President Addison Munson in Section 4 Sentinel. I'm positioned by the door and also by the plow. Pretty much everything else he said. You know, I'm pretty proud of everything. I am the agricultural type. I'd be showing up the jeans and everything. I'm from the walk of life that, like, you know, you'd expect. Elsie's from the walk of life that fits in and does well. She does really well. She's the president. So I support her. That's pretty much all. Thanks for your time.
Hello, I'm Hannah Lindstrom, one of the 3 ag teachers here. Above all, I want to
thank you guys for your support of our program and chapter. We have 280 members, so every kid in the ag class at the junior high level and the high school is an FFA member. So I'm very proud to be the leader, I guess, or one of them of this great organization, and you guys allow us to go to so many contests, conventions, and get to take these kids to grow into great individuals for after high school and junior high. The junior high program is one of my additions in the last couple years, and I'm so thankful for that. So thanks for letting me come over to this building to teach, because it's actually benefiting our high school program greatly. So we just want to say thank you. You should have our final report, I believe, that shows all of our success and what we do. We have Addison getting her state degree this summer, and we have 3 members getting their American degree, which is the highest degree you can get in FFA, this fall. So we're doing great things, and thank you, thank you, and thank you. So, do you have any questions for me on the FFA, or we're good?
Yeah, no, thank you guys
Alright.
for coming. Now, a few years ago, a group came in and they like ran us through a Robert's Rule of Order, like
Yeah.
demonstration.
Parliamentary procedure?
That would be awesome if you could do that again. We were
That
pretty
was
blown away.
Julie's favorite meeting.
It
Like,
was
teach you guys how to
yeah,
do
it
it?
was just show us how our meeting should actually run.
We can do that.
It might just need to be an annual.
Yeah, maybe
Go ahead.
maybe
Have a
I
member,
have next year.
have a member in the crowd for every meeting. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
maybe monthly for
Our
us.
proper part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to remember it's Lindstrom.
I know, I'm Libby too.
I apologize.
I got married in November, so it's changed.
Elsie mentioned electric chairs for Robert's Rule of Order.
Yeah.
Like Sean
Yeah, we
Cohen.
weren't supposed to talk about
I
that.
don't think I'm thinking very long.
She's
Why
got
did
the
I tell
button.
Tab?
It's on a golf course.
Thank you, and if you ever need anything, but thanks for all your support.
Thank you.
Thanks, lady.
Appreciate it. All right, moving out of order, sorry.
It's alright, can I just finish up real quick?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Oh, you had something to add?
Well, I thought about it. They do work their tails off. Very proud of that program. Both students and our advisors are working all the time, and they do get a ton of experience. All the things they get to go to. So it is an amazing program. Never learned so much about FFA in my life than I have in the last few years, despite having them in all the other places I've ever been. So, handbook. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Get our thoughts on that, or like where we were what we were thinking. We tried to highlight all the changes, and then like strike out what we would need being replaced, if that makes sense. Okay. And like Mr. Smock said, we did have a pretty awesome graduation. A lot of hard work went into that by a lot of individuals, the majority of whom are not here today, but Mrs. Haynes is. So I'd like to thank her along with everybody else that just worked their tail off, Mrs. Cooper and myself and Mr. Flipper. Are literally the pretty faces of it, and that's it. And I wouldn't even say pretty. But we're just the faces, and everybody else behind the scenes are the ones who did the work. So thanks.
The kids' speeches were fantastic.
Yeah.
So they always are, but every year they always do a great job. So
You guys did a great job tag teaming the flowers and the diplomas too. That was pretty impressive.
I only almost gave one kid 2 diplomas.
no flowers.
No flower,
No
2
flower,
diplomas.
2
He looked at me, I went, no, I'm sorry, you get flowers.
Nothing from the district as far as admin report. We're good.
Okay. All right. ELC.
I just wanted to highlight our preschool graduation. We had 35 preschool graduates, and some, we had an anonymous, I know who they are, community members donate our caps and gowns. So if you looked at the pictures,
Yeah.
they're really
That's great.
adorable. So
Yeah.
they performed a couple songs, and it was a really good evening, so.
Do they give speeches too?
Yeah. They told everybody what they wanted to be when they grew up. And so
Oh, that's
we're-
awesome.
We're pretty
Do we
close.
we gotta videotape that for each one so that we can.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then tomorrow we have preschool screenings tomorrow and Friday, and we have 23 children signed up, so I think we're gonna be pretty full this year. And then
How's
we
that
have 2
compared
more
to-
dates in
23 a good number for this time of year? Is it average?
It's a pretty good number. I feel like it's more than last year, so I think we're gonna be pretty full this year, so.
All right, Mr. Robbins.
Sure. If you look at the report I submitted, we did a 1,000,000 word challenge, and I highlighted in there that Camden Brown read over 3 million words. So we've got some posters hanging up in our hallway with each of the kids, starting at 250,000 words. So they like looking at those. As they pass in the hallway, just some other thing. Mrs. Norton's Kindness Club really took off, and we had over 80 kids participate in the first one, and they're just doing some fun things in our school and in our community. We had the Wax Museum last night with the 4th grade. They did a great job with that. Our 1st grade has had some community members come in and watch the Reader's Theaters that they've been doing. And then the Letter People play in kindergarten was a few weeks ago. That's world famous, I think, the Letter People play. So they did that. We have our field day tomorrow, so I told the kids to dress warm for that. I think it's supposed to be 60 degrees, so but we'll do field day tomorrow, and after that we'll announce our Peace Prize winners for 4th quarter. So just kind of wrapping up the year here.
Love the pictures. And Boston.
Yeah, same, wrapping up the year. So we've got, we did part 1 field day today, part 2 is tomorrow. We did go outside. It was cold, but the kids had a lot of fun. Working doing Miss Breeden's the one that heads that. All the older kids have theirs tomorrow. All the field trips that we've been going on, the different students, the zoo, Bank Orion, what was it, the riverboat in Davenport, right, I think right before the tornado warnings hit, we left. So they have a lot of fun out there, and we are, tomorrow we have our Eagle of the Month. We have Books for Bikes giveaway. The students had to read books, and they got some tickets for some of the books that they read. So we have our bike winner, and it'll be presented tomorrow. And then about 20 of us are getting pied in the face because we raised over $10 each for our new playground. PTO raised over $800 to help contribute to, I guess, turf and whatever they're going to need outside of what was already provided. So if you want to come out around 2:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, we'll get to see that.
I think you should do it at the beginning of the day.
I'm in there. I mean, there's nothing else to do. No, we've got.
Walk around with cherries in your ear.
I was at Miss Deb Giles. She was able to raise just up to $300.
Nice.
She's a go-getter.
Thank you. Mr. Steve.
I just wanted to highlight Thursday last week, before I finish the board report off, Mrs. Boswell worked her tail off to put an event together called The Real World, where all of our 8th graders went through a simulation. It was like 2-3 days of classroom prep for them, understanding some of the budget things, and they had to pick a job. They all got idea what their money was and how to spend it, and she brought in, I think, 18 volunteers into the gym to help with that process where they moved around and spent their money. And kids had kind of a big takeaway that they don't make enough money to manage the expenses and things they want to spend on. So we just had a lot of good feedback and a lot of good involvement. Big thank you to the 18 volunteers that helped out with that event, because that doesn't happen as smoothly without them.
Is that the first year?
That is the first year we've done that event.
Do they still go up to the junior achievement?
5th grade.
That's 5th grade, okay. I couldn't remember what year that was. Okay.
I was part of that. It was really cool.
Was it? It is
Yeah.
fun. It's a
I
neat
remember,
setup.
Miss Boswell sent feedback from the students too. They did online surveys after, and I think a lot of them took a lot away from it too. So hopefully it's something they continue to do.
That's great. Thank you. And we've already done high school, so we're good. All right. Then we are to item 10, closed session. So I would entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I'm going to go to closed session.
Yates. And Frick seconds. And
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smock.
Yes. All right, motion carried. We'll come back at 7:25.
We hear anything about the game?
Anyone?
Anyone? Cubs won.